All right, I want to take 30 minutes of calls intensely, and then I want to get into a bunch of news on other economic issues and things I haven't hit. I've got to get to all this other news, at least mention some of it. But I want to talk to first-time callers here today about, again, what is your line in the sand? What do you think about the incredible race baiting? What are the globalists planning? Do you think Obama's going to be held accountable for all his executive power grabbing, the open borders? I mean, this is bizarro world, as Bob Barr said earlier. The toll-free number is 800-259-9231. You can bring up any subject you want. I mean, we've got other crazy stories that are so important, like subconscious ordering. New Pizza Hut menu scans retinas, basically reads your mind to take the order. This is big, and I'm going to break it down coming up. Just like Amazon says they'll take your order before you order it. We're going to explain what that really means, or I'll give you my take. Also, U.S. Ebola vaccine clear safety test. If you believe that, I got a bridge I'm happy to sell you. Falling oil prices could cripple vulnerable Russia, trigger World War III. That's just some of the news that's coming up. Right now, let's go ahead and go to Keith in Indiana. You're on the air.
Alex, how you doing?
Good, brother.
Yeah, my line in the sand was drawn a long time ago when they started to attack my family and my loved ones through the poisonous food and other products that are out there every single day that everybody takes, and they don't realize that it's slowly killing them. We've consolidated our family. We have multiple acres on one mortgage, and there's 6 incomes that are working on one mortgage, and we're freeing ourselves through the love of our family. I wanted to give you one anecdotal incident that happened to me when I was a child, when I was in 8th grade. I have never been vaccinated, and in school, they brought me to the principal's office with all the principals and the head nurse, and they asked me why I haven't been vaccinated, and I was prompted by my parents to say, it's a religious objection. That's the one thing that they cannot argue with in public school or anything public. They cannot argue with your religion.
But notice they all called you in like you'd done something wrong with peer pressure when there's not even a law. There's just a policy that they say you need to get an exemption for to create the illusion of a crime being committed. They'll even kick you out of school fraudulently and then trigger truancy charges that are thrown out if you know your rights. But it shows the collective criminal fraud going on. There is a conscientious objector, there's a medical exemption, and there's a religious exemption. But they're exemptions to a non-law. Do you understand that?
I absolutely understand that. It's our only defense right now. I tell people every single day, it is not the law. People come to me. They come to me and say, I don't know if I want to vaccinate my child or not. I'm afraid that I won't be able to go into public school because it's against the law. The first thing I tell them, I say, it is not against the law. It's not against the law.
But see, this shows how the people perish for lack of knowledge. Now they can keep a fraud going. And the school knows they're involved in a fraud because federal funds and state funds are tied more than test scores. They're tied to vaccination because vaccination is the big conspiracy. So finish the story. The principal, the nurse, they're there. What'd they say to you?
And that was the second prompt that my parents gave me. The only 2 things they told me to say it's against your religion, and when they ask you what religion you are, you tell them that they cannot ask you that question. It's against the law. You're protected by the Constitution.
So how did it end? How did it end?
Not to be indicted by your religion.
Well, sir, I mean, it's beyond that. But, that is a whole smart thing to do. It's what the illegals do. Of course, then they don't pay taxes and are above the law. But get a bunch of folks together on a property, like family used to do, and have grandparents, everybody there, neighbors, cousins, and then pool your resources and live like kings and start a black market. I mean, that's the way to go now. It's the only way to survive for many people. We'll be back. The wages of sin are death. And our country's become pretty darn corrupt. And so, like opening a portal on a submarine, the water of tyranny is pouring in. We're opening the phones up for any issue you want to discuss. First-time callers, 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. The White House, the media, they're all betting on hyping the Brown shooting, and they're legitimizing rioting and racial attacks, I guess believing turning the American people against each other will distract us while the globalists rob us 7 ways to Sunday. UN has now attacked U.S. gun rights and more, citing Ferguson. Says they have their new UN treaty to go after us. This is Detroit's entire electrical grid basically goes down. That's some of the news I've already hit. There is a ton of news that I have not gotten to yet that I will be covering on a host of issues. The situation with Russia is intensifying. FEMA kept a close eye on Ferguson during August protest when it was first going on. That's just some of what's coming up. But I wanted to play the first Louis Farrakhan clip because there's a new clip in a story we have on Infowars.com with the latest comments by Farrakhan, some of the most radical he's ever issued. Let's go ahead and go to that first clip from last week.
As long as they kill us and go to Wendy's and have a burger and go to sleep, they're going to keep killing us. But when we die and they die, then soon we're going to sit at a table because we'll tear this damn country up.
I mean, do you think the insurance companies care if some stuff gets torn up? Obama, with the Republicans, with the insurance companies, wrote Obamacare to rob every poor person in America and fleece the rest of the middle class and set up death panels, for heaven's sakes. I mean, come on, Farrakhan. Let's hear you talk about abortion. Let's hear you talk about what's in the GMO crops. I know you do some. Let's hear you get into real issues that are silent, creeping death for everybody. Fluoridation of water. I know the Final Call newspaper, I've read it before, has even quoted some of our reports. I mean, that's good stuff to strengthen the black community or any other community. But what Farrakhan's doing now, just randomly saying, if whites die, this will stop happening. No, it won't. It'll kick off a race war and a bunch of people will die and create racism and division. But I know originally Nation of Islam was black only and wanted its own country, and that's still there. That separatist idea. That's why a lot of the white supremacist groups like the Nation of Islam. Because they're like, yes, whites need to be separate and blacks need to be separate. Look, people can do whatever they want in their own lives, okay? I support freedom. But I don't want black people to be hurt, and I don't want white people to be hurt. Besides, most people in this country aren't even one thing or the other anymore. It's just pure manipulation. And I guess it's easy for Farrakhan's base to get up there and talk like that. But there's a new clip out from Farrakhan now. Let's go ahead and go to this clip.
You may not want to fight, but you better get ready. Teach your baby how to throw the bottle if they can't bite. We're going to die anyway. Let's die for something.
Guys, will you find it where Farrakhan talks about me? In one of those clips, he's talked about me a couple times, but just it's something like Louis Farrakhan talks about Alex Jones, and he gets real excited. Maybe he's not a plant. Maybe he really thinks violence good. He gets real excited when I blow up at Piers Morgan and say, if you try to take our firearms, 1776 will commence again. Well, that's how it started to begin with. And it will be a civil war then. Any cop carrying out orders to disarm the public in a general disarmament is unconstitutional, is an act of domination, and people can legitimately resist that, and the police aren't stupid. They're not going to try it. They got federal squads trying it in California right now, but I don't count that as the U.S. It isn't going to fly. And I mean, I wonder if Farrakhan's got cancer again or something, or because he looks crazy when he's talking about everybody's going to die anyways. And he gets that crazy look in his eye. Is he about to start passing Kool-Aid out or something? I mean, do you have any idea what would happen if inner city people, period, poor whites, blacks, Hispanics, whatever, tried to go out and attack rural areas? I mean, do you have any idea how trained with guns people are in rural areas and how many guns there are? I mean, do you really, Farrakhan, think white people in the countryside are scared? If the feds come, they're ready to kill. If a mob of black people come, they're ready to kill. They don't care what color you are. They're not looking for trouble either. I mean, that's the most ridiculous, asinine statement about a race war with white people. All you're going to have is the police mowing black people down. They are going to let this thing get out of hand. I'm telling you, they may actually pull the trigger on this and start a big stinking race war that is completely pointless for the people, but works like a charm for the establishment. And then afterwards, they'll bring the UN in and restore order. This is how they have their communist revolution, and they kick it off with race riots in America. And they use the disdain for, in many cases, the out-of-control police. You know, what about the white homeless unarmed man in Albuquerque earlier this year? I forget his name. Maybe you guys print me an article on it. We played the video probably 20 times here. And the cops are shooting him going, boo, yeah, all right, yeah. And then they shoot him some more and say, don't resist, as he's dead. Like that makes it okay. Don't resist. It'd be like going to a grave site and shooting the ground and going, don't resist me. You're resisting me. You were buried in 1875. Boom, 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 don't resist me. And they let the dog come over and bite on him. Video shows Albuquerque police killing homeless man. Just one more in a long line. James Boyd. Where is Louis Farrakhan here? Because let me tell you, if there was video like this of them shooting a black homeless guy, I'd be up in arms. I mean, I just don't. All those cops should be indicted, and they haven't been. And then we get the squad car video of the leader cop who got fired off the state police, driving up on his squad car, talking to his buddies on the radio, going, I can't wait to blow this guy's bleepers off. I'm going to kill him. And they come on the radio and they go, why? Just, I can't wait to kill somebody. And that's what, a Hispanic cop wants to kill a homeless guy? I don't think he wanted to kill him because he was white. He just was crazy. It's like the cops we see all the time every week walking into convenience stores. They'll just pull a gun out and put it in somebody's head just to scare the hell out of them. I'm going to shoot him in the bleeper, says cop before executing camper. An Albuquerque police officer who killed a mentally ill homeless man last March expresses desire to shoot him in the genitalia. New dash cam footage reveals. Let's scroll down. And then the article goes through it all. The video, obtained by KOB4 News, details the conversation between APD officer Keith Sandy and another. Okay, one of the guys was Hispanic, I forget. I guess he's white. Officer wrote before the fatal shooting of James Boyd. During the confrontation, Sandy can be heard discussing his desire to shoot Boyd, who he refers to as a effing lunatic, in the bleeping with a shotgun. And he got to. All right, here's the Farrakhan clip, and then I'll go to break and come back and go to Ramon and Joey and Ralph and John and Dan and everybody else. But here's Farrakhan. Just put it in context, how excited he gets whenever there's a discussion of revolution. So maybe he's for real. Maybe he really thinks this is going to be great because he looks starry-eyed in that last video clip. You can't see it on radio. It's on Infowars.com. When he goes, because we're all gonna die. And he looks crazy. Let's go to the clip.
Mr. Alex Jones on television recently with Piers Morgan, and he said, before we allow you to take our guns from us, 1776 will play out again. You are lying to the American people. You're robbing them of democracy.
All right, that's enough. He goes on and on. I mean, it's just, what is going on here? Louis Farrakhan has like 10 million followers, it's estimated. And he's talking about go out and kill the white people, and then they will stop killing us. I don't want to kill anybody. And he's being allowed to do it. I mean, I made vague comments about resisting the government back in the mid-90s, and they had groups of people beat me up. I fought back. FBI following me around, questioning me, everything else. And I was like, I didn't mean I'm going to get violent. But I mean, believe me, folks, you start getting into stuff and you have a following, the system shows up. Not with Farrakhan. Don't forget, we have free shipping continuing throughout the week. Free shipping on everything at InfoWarsStore.com. And your purchases of the high-quality water filters, you name it, pro-gun T-shirts, you name it, promote health and liberty. Huge savings, as much as 30% off and free shipping on InfoWars Life products, InfoWarsLife.com. And 50% off nightly news, prisonplanet.tv memberships, and 20 people can use each membership. Nobody offers a subscription service at this price. Then it works on your Roku, on your Boxy, on your cable system. It's such a great way to wake people up. It's a great activist tool. You can download all the films in HD, burn them to disk. It's just an incredible resource, and it's helping fund true 21st century liberty-based media. Let's go to Ramon in Texas. Thanks for holding. You're on the air.
You bet, you bet. Hey, Alex, I guess I should call you governor because I voted for you.
What, did you vote for me in the election?
Yeah, I put your, where you have the ability to just fill it in with a name. I put your name in there.
Wow, well, that's interesting. I wonder what that does.
I don't know, but if enough people did it, maybe they'd have to make a news story out of it or something. But
well, instead they've got news stories in Texas Monthly that I'm the long dead Bill Hicks, so we're in a lot of trouble.
Well, that's for sure. Hey, my line in the sand, man, has just been kind of a slow boil. I got sideswiped by an illegal, and then I got hit in the rear by, my car did, by a illegal. But
almost everybody I know has been hit by an illegal, and almost everybody I know who's been to Mexico has been robbed by the police. But we're just supposed to just totally adopt a failed, collapsed country. And, yeah, these illegals drive like psychomaniacs. They get to drunk drive, everything else. But then the police, no matter what color you are, will throw the book at citizens because they know we're chumps. They know we're chumps and will go pay the tickets. And that's discrimination that I'm sick of. Not because I hate people south of the border, but because they are allowed to walk all over us because we are a nation of chumps. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, all three of those things have happened to me. I've been to Mexico and been hit up by the cops many times. But
well, you deserve it. I mean, if you're white, you deserve it.
Well,
but listen, the Mexican cops shake down brown-skinned people even more. So, I mean, I've seen that statistically. So it's not like they're being racist. They actually think they can get away with shaking Mexicans down more than blacks or whites. And if you're a Mexican-American, look out. They'll really come after you, in my experience down in Mexico. But go ahead. Sorry.
Just a few years ago, I had to fill out white instead of Hispanic, but that's all changed now. Anyway, the thing that is kind of set me off or pushed me over the edge is that I just recently applied for a passport, and I had one like 20 years ago and lost it, used it and lost it. That's when I was traveling in Central America and Mexico and stuff. But they have written me back saying that the long-form birth certificate that I supplied said that I was born at home and that there's no medical official record of my birth. So they're questioning whether I'm an American or not, and they're not going to issue me a birth certificate a passport unless I can produce some kind of official record.
A family Bible is, or you can find out who the doctor was you first saw after that, or they can get affidavits from family. You're gonna have to get a lawyer.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'll get one eventually, but it's just.
Oh yeah, they've made it to legally be a citizen, or even if you are, almost impossible. Again, I told people 10 years ago with TSA, because I saw the C-SPAN hearing where they admitted it, they wanted to break our will, make us feel horrible going through TSA, then go, oh, come pre-screen with us, come have a TSA interview, jump through hoops, and then we'll only search you sometimes. And so it's about, it's the same thing with the open borders. You want to come here, be illegal, cheat the system, do whatever, that's fine. But if you want to become a legal citizen, it takes about 14 years. And now I'm hearing about more and more people where the records get lost at the hospital or home births. They want you in the system from birth, or they're going to say you don't exist. Good to hear from you. I appreciate your call, Ramon. That is really frustrating. Let's go to John in PA. We'll hold him over if need be. Go ahead.
How you doing, Alex?
Good, brother.
Man, this hands up, don't shoot salute. It's really reminiscent of like what the Nazis were doing, what the brown shirts were doing, because they're going around putting this symbol up for some racial outrage that doesn't even exist.
Stay there. I don't get your point yet because you haven't been able to finish, but I've got mine on this. I think it's almost subliminal, like we give up, we submit. The new freedom is put your hands up, I'm a prisoner. Because that's what TSA is go through, you're a prisoner, put your hands up. And so it's just sick. And then Obama acting like he cares so much because, he's taking your job, so you might as well say, he cares about you. We'll be right back. In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries in the area of health. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. DNA Force is one of the most expensive formulas to produce. Some of the ingredients in DNA Force are $12,000 a kilogram. We are using the coveted, patented, only American source of PQQ, CoQ10, and more. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? Well, we're bringing you a total win-win. The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the InfoWar. We have produced a limited run of DNA Force, and it will take up to 12 weeks to produce more once we sell out. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force from InfoWars Life.